What superpower is the freakiest?
We'll be answering the question, what superpower is the freakiest? So without further ado, let's get it on. First, we've got super speed. This is the least freaky power on this list, and there are 2 reasons why having super speed can potentially be pretty freaky. Number 1, vibration. The Flash can vibrate so fast he can go through walls, making him literally the human vibrator.
Why would you say that?
So yeah, we don't really know if he's really the fastest man alive.
Why did he say that, bro? Like, bro out here was just thinking one day, man, Fast is so Flash. I bet when he uses his hands, he goes, and then she goes, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like, come on, bro, why would you do that?
Still with him. And second, bouncing anime physics, but at light speed. And also, normal speed can feel very slow for people with super speed. So if your girl's a speedster, she's probably gonna be an ADHD girlfriend. Next, we've got the classic freaky superpower, steroids. I mean super strength. As for how freaky this superpower really is, well, that will be you. And yes, she will be physically stronger than you, so she'll definitely carry you around, which means you are pretty much legally obligated to call her mommy. And while the women who possess this power don't necessarily have to be muscle mommies, a large majority of them are, making this one of my favorite powers already. And while being with a woman who is physically stronger than you might be a point of anxiety for some, I don't want you to worry. Here, why don't you clear your head? Next, we've got immortality. This superpower is
why immortality,
bro? Like, you're with someone who doesn't look that old, but on the inside, they're like 300 years old. That sounds like a grandma fetish, but with extra steps. I mean, imagine being with a girl your age, but then she starts telling you how your generation has it easy and stuff. Also, people with immortality who choose to be with someone normal are the freakiest because their lifespan is so much longer than yours. That's like when Omni-Man bangs that bug even though he knows she's gonna be gone next.
Banging a bug is crazy, though. Banging a bug was honestly diabolical. Why would Omni-Man do that, bro? Like Omni-Man's my guy, but I would never do that in my life. Omni-Man, I do not agree with you there, bro. You was file for that, Omni-Man. Why would you do that, Omni-Man? That was honestly disgusting. You should think about your life, Omni-Man.
Weak, but in this case, you're the bug. So yeah, pretty kinky stuff. Next, we've got invulnerability. A lot of people think invulnerability means you don't feel enemies' attacks, but you can still feel normal human touch. And while every universe has different rules, this never makes sense to me. I mean, if you can get punched in the face and don't feel a thing, how can you feel it when someone touches you? A poke isn't really that different from a really light punch. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. If a girl is indestructible and almost nothing can hurt her, it's going to make things 10 times freakier in the bedroom. When she says, slap me, you better bring a concrete block. When she says, choke me, you're gonna need a crane. The good news is, with invulnerability power, you don't need to worry about getting to this place, cause you're gonna need a hydrogen bomb to come anywhere close. Next.
Pause. So come on, wait. Oh, that was a joke. It was a dumber entree. Okay.
We've got regeneration. You know, like Wolverine, you get hurt and you heal right away.
Why is regeneration freaky?
The best use of regeneration power is not fighting. It's for making babies. Let me explain. Firstly, Wolverine can't die from blood loss, so he's sure as hell not gonna die from fluid loss either. So you basically have the infinite pumping glitch. Secondly, immunity to viruses and diseases, so you can't catch STDs, which means the dog is gonna be pretty uncooked. And to top it all off, Plan B doesn't work on these people. So yeah, regeneration is freakier than you think. Next, we've got telepathy, the ability to read thoughts and send thoughts into someone else's mind. A normal girl might whisper into your ear. A telepath will whisper right into your prefrontal cortex. With the ability to share emotions, imagine how much better the world would be. All of these sufferings would be eradicated from our society. Discrimination, wars, the orgasm gap. Dude, forget sending nudes. She can just look in the mirror and send it straight into your subconscious. She'll literally be inside your mind. You can't even try to start something between you, her, and disgust. Next, we've got size alteration, the power to turn yourself very small or very big. So yeah, 1 minute you're a short king, the next minute you're a giant. 1 second you're daddy, the next she's mommy. That's pretty freaky. The way I see it, with this power, you can go one of 2 ways. You can be with a really tiny lady or a giant lady. For a tiny lady, that can get pretty weird. A bit too weird for this video, so
if you watch The Boys, you know how weird that can get, bruh. And I'm honestly not into that one. You know, like you watch The Boys, that's gonna get really weird.
say go watch The Boys or Gen V and you'll get the idea. As for a giant lady, this is probably the last thing you'll ever see. So yeah, size alteration is a pretty freaky superpower. Next, we've got elastic body power. Being flexible allows you to get into some pretty interesting positions. Having an elastic body is like that, but way better. But this isn't the only thing this power can do. An elastic body also means, of course, you can increase or decrease the size of your body parts at will. A superpower that allows you to give yourself an instant BBL is pretty nice, but you've got to remember that their body is also elastic, so she'll be bouncy as well. What? You don't think the Incredibles tried the trampoline move in the bedroom a few times? You can also, of course, extend your limb, any limb, which explains why Luffy is so popular with the ladies. Overall, elastic body is definitely up there on the list, and the possibilities are endless. Next, we've got invisibility. On the surface level, invisibility might not seem all that crazy. After all, you can't even see her. But come on, dude. Stevie Wonder can't see either, and he still cheated. Usually, it's you can look, but you can't touch. But with this power, you're pretty much operating under the touch, but can't look philosophy.
I'm not lying. If I had invisibility, I think the first thing I would probably do is use it and then spy on all my friends and learn their deepest, darkest secrets, and then casually bring them up as a joke and be like, yeah, bro, remember that one time you did that? And then when I bring them up, they're going to be so confused. How do I know that? And they would never know. They would never know. That's probably the one thing I'll do about invisibility. I'm not going to lie, bro. What would y'all do if y'all had invisibility, bro? Because I don't know, I'll be an absolute menace if I had invisibility. I'm not gonna lie.
Different types of this power, but the one we'll be focusing on is the one where their clothes don't turn invisible with them. When that happens, these characters are basically forced to be naked the entire show. These people are walking around, fighting, going to school, just existing with no clothes. I mean, if you have this power, you can still put on clothes, sure, but then your power becomes pretty useless. Also, people can just look down through your neck and see what color boxers you're wearing. So you're better off naked anyway. I mean, you just have to remember that the invisible girl from My Hero Academia was literally running around naked in a PG-13 show and didn't even get charged with public indecency. That's the level of freakiness we're dealing with here. Next, we've got self-duplication.
Self-duplication? Oh, you're a freak. If you want that one, bro, ask Hinata. I think Hinata knows about that one.
Create more of yourself. This one is pretty self-explanatory. Being with more than one woman at the same time is pretty much on any man's bucket list. This power is exactly that, but even more extreme. It doesn't matter if it's 3-sums, 4-sums, the population of a small country sums, you name it. There are a few different types of this power, and they are all pretty insane. You've got the one where your duplicates share the same sensations, so you could be talking to one duplicate while the other might be doing something naughty, like pouring milk before the cereal. Or you've also got the other type where the duplicates are autonomous, kind of like cloning. In this case, you basically have whatever fetish the author of the quintessential quintuplets has. And it also doesn't matter if she's the one with the power or you are, you're gonna end up with either a duplicate type situation or a Dr. Manhattan type situation. No matter how you look at it, self-duplication is one freaky power. Also, you can't even tell her to go herself because she might just take it as a challenge. Now, what if I tell you there's a power that allows you to change the girl into whoever you want?
That's also a valid power. Mystique has a valid power. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's not called.
I'm surprised he ain't show She-Hulk.
Deep fake, you sicko. I'm talking about the one and only freaky superpower, shape-shifting. If you've seen X-Men, then you've definitely wondered at least once how awesome it would be to have Mystique as your girlfriend. I know you've thought about it, don't lie. So yeah, the power to be with whoever you want is pretty out of this world. But this power is even crazier than that because in some cases, the user can even change into fictional characters. Cartoons, anime, fast food mascots. You can even get a dragon if you're at Donkey's level of freaky. But it doesn't end there. There are way more things you can do with this power. There's partial transformation. You can mix and match the best part of different characters. You can add wings, tails, gills, etc. You can pretty much invent a whole new species. Your imagination is your only limit. Bob Ross would be so proud of you. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is the Margot Robbie cinema of RC Prime hybrid isn't just a dream. Although, I just want to say one thing. Knowledge.
Why would you want the Xenomorph? Why would you want that hybrid? Wait, why did you want that? Why do you want that? Why?
Knowing that shape-shifting is pretty nice. Wisdom is realizing that Mystique is the hottest when she's blue. So there you have it. These are the freakiest superpowers according to me. Join me on Discord. Link in the description. And remember, shame is for the weak.
That was a good video, egg person. Good ass video, egg person. You always making bangers, man. Always making bangers.